used to hire probably. Listing of kind of
I may just disappear for a while if need be.
Well, you see his prints at the art local, takes all the local. Clement, yeah.
So let me go down.
I was going to go out. I remember following him around. But
all right. Looks like it's time to start. I want to welcome everybody to the September, believe it or not, meeting for the Tri-City Digital Photography Club. Appreciate everybody being here this evening. Summers are always a little lower in attendance and expect that, but glad to have everybody here. The next meeting will be October 13th, and our clicker is not working, so I guess I'll do this and click, it'll go. Oop. There we go. Was that, oh, the other one was the second? Okay. So yeah, I would like to know, how many visitors do we have? I know we have quite a few because of the topic tonight. 3 back there, great. Welcome. Thank you for coming and hope you enjoy the meeting tonight. It's going to be very, very interesting. Last month we had some excitement when the computer decided about halfway or before halfway through the meeting to die, and then start up right before the meeting ended again, only to die shortly thereafter. Found out it was the power supply. It overheated and died, so we got a replacement power supply, and we'll see if, hopefully no issues tonight yet. So next slide. Congratulate Susie for a photo that she had entered into the 4Cs quarterly competition, Telling Secrets. It's a great photo. Congratulations, Susie. So that's the 4Cs is a club of clubs. So it's a club that we belong to, and you can enter photos yourself into it. Is that what you did with this one? You submit it yourself? And there's a link on the website to how to do that. And if you have any questions after that, or even before that, ask one of the club officers. Ask Susie. She obviously knows how to do it. So, yeah, it's a great shot. And next month's meeting is going to be a family potluck. Members and their family, it's a good reason to join. Members and their family are invited to the potluck. It's going to be at Frechette Winery, and appreciate all that they do. I joked to my wife, it's as a club member at Frechette, you get to have events at the winery, and that's the reason. It's not because of you or Jay, it's that I'm a club member, right? Yeah, wine club member. And it forces us to go there and buy wine every so often. Darn. But you'll get all the club members will get an email. We'll have it broken out where, you know, A through M bring one thing. Do we already have it figured out? What's A? What is it? Do you know? Okay. It's on the calendar, so it has there what to bring. And then the club is providing chicken and drinks. So only desserts and things. Dirk. I don't think at that night, but Sonja, you were planning on trying to put together a swap meet, right? Okay. So Sonja was trying to organize something like that and get it really advertised out, and club will do everything we can on that too. So if anybody knows of a good venue to have something like that at, let Sonja know, because it'd be great to have. Any other things that somebody knows are going on photography-wise here locally? No? Oh, Dirk? Ah, okay. You took some at the rodeo here, right? Nice. Okay. Susie? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I forget about that. So, yes, I need to repeat questions and so forth. So I have to pretend everybody is deaf so that everybody, we have this actually being broadcast online. It's on YouTube and it's being broadcast live. Hi to everybody online. So that's a great way. So those that can't make it to the club or aren't available this evening, they can always go online and watch it as well. So it's fun. It's weird to know that you're being on camera.
There are two events coming up: the Prosser Balloon event and then Heritage Days at Sacagawea State Park.
Okay, so the Prosser Balloon event and the Heritage Days at Sacagawea. Yeah, both of those are very, very good photo ops. Sacagawea, they have all the people dressed up in, reenactors. So it's a lot of fun to go take photos there. And
Saturday, Fridays for the school kids, a lot of them running around, and Saturdays for the general public.
Okay, so Saturdays are the better day to go for photos. So, yeah, well, and it's easy to look it up online. But 23rd and 24th for the Sacagawea days. Okay. How many people were able to get some photos at the rodeo here this year? Anybody? Dirk and okay. So yeah, it's always fun to go out and try to get some shots. It's always hard from the places the public has access to. So getting to be able to get in close would be very interesting.
The fair people were really good to me this year. I got a special place to stand, but it's in the evening, and because of the darkness, you can't use the decent shutter speed and stuff, especially in the cold.
Right. Yeah. So Dirk is saying it's hard in the fair because low light situation, and without really expensive equipment, or even the photographer that's out there. I didn't notice it this year, but in the past he's had remote triggers to try to get flashes to go when he's taking his photos. A couple of years ago, I think I had brought with me the flash snoot that Rich Brashears designed for me. That was just a Coors can that we flared out to try to push the flash out a little bit farther. Problem with that is on the animals, when you take their pictures, their eyes just turn white. So, Photoshop, I guess, is the solution to everything. But it is interesting. So, okay, well, yes. Oh, yes, thank you. And this. December is the last month for some of the board members. We have our 2-year terms, and so half of the board members are going off because of their 2-year term running out. We also have a number of board members who are not going to be able to run or continue their positions this year. So we have a number of positions open. And one thing I want to make clear too is the board does not require you to be a perfect professional photographer. Matter of fact, it's probably better if we have a whole lot of us that aren't, because then we make things that are more interesting for everybody to come. It's not designed for, this club's not designed for the professional photographer. It's designed for people who want to become better no matter what your skill level is. What we need are people who are interested in the club and have time to contribute. The board, it's one extra meeting a month. We will meet usually the 2 Thursdays, or 4th Thursday. Club meetings on the 2nd Thursday. We meet the 4th Thursday and try to make sure that everything runs smoothly and everything's going well for the club. We need people who are good at keeping books, like Susie. People who are good at taking minutes, Ellen, and Lee and Christy, you know, and people who can help set up, people, just a wide variety of skills. It does not require you to be, we're not looking for a whole group of professional photographers to run the club. We're looking for people who want to contribute to the club. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, and club members who aren't here but watching, you're interested in doing, make sure you let one of us know, and we'll be putting out more information. But we really do need people to step up for that. Got a note from Walt also regarding the 4 Cs. The convention is coming up here in October, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of October. The 4 Cs convention, again, the 4 Cs is a club of camera clubs, and this year it is meeting Embarcadero Resort Hotel, and I'm trying to remember what city. It's in, oh, Newport, yes. There we go. And so they've got a whole bunch of different things going on. They've got evening field trips that are free. They've got classes, morning field trips on the different days. Says here, why attend? 15 presenters in 2 to 3 tracks of speaking on a wide range of topics. Yeah. More information is available on the website. Keynote speaker, Aaron Babnick, outstanding landscape photographer and member of Photo Cascadia, which is quite a group of landscape photographers. 9 different field trips, including exclusive after-hours access to the Newport Aquarium and sunrise access to the Yaquina Head Natural Area. Multiple vendors will be there, including advanced camera repair, focal point photography. There'll be the 4 Cs banquet and awards, raffles, silent auction. Early registration, $75. Field trips for $10 to $15. It's a great deal. The early registration ends September 15th, so that's a week from now. So if it's something you're considering doing, do that now. It doesn't say here how much it is if you procrastinate like I do. There's a there's a flyer available online. And for more information, go to columbiacameraclubs.org, and there's a little link there for the 2016 convention you can click on. And I'm sure we'll get a link on the website, but Columbia Camera Clubs should be easy to find. So anybody has questions about that, don't hesitate to ask as well. All right, Susie.
It's on the calendar on the website, and the links are there.
Okay, so the link's already there on the club website if you want to find out some more information. Thank you. So who has taken the time to get on the club's website this last month? Good portion of the people. Still definitely a work in progress, but we're working on it, always interested in ideas, moving forward on it. So excited to see how it's progressing. Okay, yes, Susie. Oh, yes, should have brought my cheat sheet. Every month, we try to do a critique of members' photos that they bring, and critique in the sense that it's each of us contributing what we can to it. Last month, we talked a little bit how we do the critique. It's always meant to be helpful to the person. So it's set up on a system, and we've got the description back there, but make sure during the break, if you haven't already, go back, take a look at the photos, rate them. We've got a 1 to 5 scale on what you think, and a little spot for you to write. Read what other people are saying about the photo. A critique can be also not just for the photographer, but for each of us to look at and see what other people like about the photo, don't like about the photo, would suggest for an improvement. See if you agree or you want to say what you think about it. So we've got a number of photos back there, and please bring your photos every month. Bring them, put them back there. We've got the sheets that we can critique them and give you some ideas on how to improve your photography. And I learned as much reading other people's critiques as I do trying to figure it out myself. All right, any other photography or club news? Okay, with that, Sonja Yearsley is our speaker tonight. She's going to give a little bit of a talk about Ken Gatherum, and she'll talk a little bit more about him, as well as, you know, whatever else piques her interest. So with that, Sonja, I'm going to pass it to you. I know. Sorry we
anything
don't have
that
our
I'm
headset. interested in.
Yeah, there you go.
How many of you know of Ken Gatherum, have heard of him? Okay, so a lot of hands. That's great. For those of you who don't know him, Ken has been a long time member, I think, of the photography club, or at least the state organization. And yeah, and he was also an avid diver. And so he really enjoyed underwater photography. And you'll see in the slideshow what he was interested in photographing. He liked to include not just the underwater world, but divers in that world. So it kind of shows a little bit of perspective on, what he's photographing. So, and swimming with sharks and, some of the things he got to photograph, it was quite remarkable. And I would like to acknowledge that Ken's sister and brother-in-law are here, Gloria and Vern, they're up here. And so if you get a chance to say hi to them, make them feel welcome. But some of the places he got to visit, Cozumel, Cayman Islands, I'm going to draw blanks, but I can tell you more about that. I had the privilege of going through his hard drive and looking at all of his images, thousands of images from underwater only, and this was a 2 terabyte hard drive. So it was pretty neat to get to go through it. I don't know if everybody would have enjoyed it as much as I did, but getting to see his settings and how he edited his images. He left PSD files on his hard drive as well, which had all of the different layers that he used. And I will show you a little video of that as well. Since there's no Photoshop on the laptop, I just made a tiny little video of one of his PSD files, and each of the layers activated nice and slow. So you can see from start to finish, kind of Ken's style of editing. It's very, very meticulous. I don't know very many people who'd go through the process that he goes through. It's pretty exciting, pretty neat. So with that, I'm just going to get right to the slideshow and let you guys enjoy that. Oh, did you have a question?
Sonja, would it be appropriate, those who are not familiar with what happened again?
Yes, sorry. Ken passed away a little over 11 months ago in a diving accident. We're not sure exactly what happened, but it was in the San Juan Islands or Canada. It was Canada. British Columbia. So as far as we know, he went into the water and then he sunk. We don't know what happened. We can only guess. But just recently, in the last couple of weeks, they've been searching for Ken kind of off and on as they had time to, and they did find him. So his family is able to have closure. And there's really no clue as to, what happened. So nothing that the diving community can really learn from. We just, yeah.
I just want to say my friend Bob Horner and I have both go with Ken down at Cozumel. He was an incredible person, good friend, and I think he had been a Navy photographer. He's as good a photographer
Right.
as I've ever heard.
Yeah, I probably should have made a list of the things that he was involved in. And Dirk was just saying that, he was in the Navy, and he's got a real long history of photography. He worked out at the Hanford area and has pretty much worked with maybe every camera you can possibly imagine. His nickname was Mr. Polaroid. So yeah, he's got quite a history in photography, and this is just his underwater stuff. So maybe at some point I might get to showcase some of his other work, but are there any other questions before we get started?
I have a comment. I worked with Ken Patel in the mid-70s to early 80s or so. Mr. Polaroid is right. He shot Polaroids and Polaroids of everything. Perfectionist. He was a great guy. Nice. Great guy. Perfectionist. Wonderful photographer.
Yeah, very good person. Yeah.
And he's started taking pictures when he was 12 years old as a hobby.
I will repeat that so that the people watching live, he started taking pictures when he was 12 years old as a hobby. So that's quite a history. All right, I will let you play that slideshow. It is, yes, right there. I'll just lay this here.
go ahead and take a break and see, it is 7:12, so let's say 7:30. Start back up. Be sure to go check out the photos. Oh, yeah.
Did you get like a casing? Did you hit it selling a casing? Oh, really?
How's it going?
When I used to go to Hawaii, I found out even though it says it's 50 or 40 or what happens, you take a deep all the way to the feet, but you stop and you can't press it down. And a lot of mine were, I'd have people like that. You can write it to small things and see what's
Yeah, it's very warm, you can see it. Some will see, you can see kind of the light on it. Every day. That's awesome.
Our speaker needs to leave in a little bit, so we need to get fired up again. Here in just a couple minutes.
Good job.
Oh, thank you. Starting? Yep. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah. As soon as everybody gets in here. Yep. Good. Okay. since we don't have Photoshop on this computer, I made a little video, just a tiny, it's going to show you his raw image and then his process. And we can play it a couple of times. I tried to go slow, clicking the little, eyeballs going up, and you can see all of his layers. But it just gives you an idea of how detail-oriented he was. So you can see the layers on the right side. Here's the raw image, and I'm clicking the layers, just turning them on one by one. He fixes the hue and saturation, goes for levels. You can see that the image starts to come alive here. Most of this is color balance and levels. Having done underwater photography myself, I know that red is the first thing that goes away underwater. And so bringing some of that warmth back is usually the goal. You can see I click on and off so you can see what's going on there. The turtle shell. Now it's warmer. Levels and color balance, yeah, mostly. Yeah, he was using masks, so he was. It wasn't all over. And you could see the little layer mask. You can see little white spots, which is where he painted. All right, so hopefully that gives you an idea of what's going on. We can go through this again if you're interested, but you can see that, what's going on here in the image. It's levels, and I'll just read it out, hue and saturation. And then it's levels again. That's all over. And then here he just painted in a part of the levels there, painted in a little more there. You can see now we're painting. And then an all over color balance. And levels just in a specific area right up here. And then hue and saturation. There's no painting. It doesn't look like there's painting here, but not there. A little bit of painting here with levels. More levels. This time, you should see it right there.
It's not showing on the screen.
Oh, it's not showing at all. Does that work? Yeah. Should I play it one more time for the people on YouTube? Or is that?
Just keep going.
Okay, just keep going. All right. They didn't come. That's too bad. Wait a minute. Hide. There we go. All right. Some more color balance here, this time on the turtle shell. You're going to see it change here from more of a green hue to a warmer hue. More color balance. You can see right in here is where he did that. Just in that area. I think that at some point he did the head, and then he's going to he did part of this just bits at a time. It's kind of interesting how detail-oriented Ken was, and he saved all of his levels. When I do something, I start flattening as I go. Maybe that's the wrong thing, but I learned a lot from looking at his PSD files, and he had a lot of these, and they looked a lot like this, just a lot of layers. And some of you asked where he went, and he, being the super detail-oriented person that he was, some of them he named Cozumel, Philippines, Belize, Cayman Islands, Brentwood. I'm not sure what, that must be maybe the name of the ship there. Let's see. Florida, okay. city of Washington. North Dry Rocks. I'm not sure where that is either, but Lou Jack's Quest. It's a lot of Lou Jack. I'm not sure what that is either. Horseshoe Reef. So some of these things that he named after named the area that he photographed in, probably to Is Bowie Tender? It's a place, right? Or maybe no. I'm not sure what that is, but so anyway, it was interesting going through all of the images. He was pretty well organized, and when he was going from one place to another, he would you'd see a blank image, the inside of his cap, and so you'd know, okay, he's in the next place. So, so that was interesting too, I thought, because some of them you can't really tell the difference between one coral reef area and the next, and so he would take a blank image so that he probably knew he's in the next place. So.
Go to the left there, Gary. Or left. Am I to the left? Yeah. Up. And then hit that screen share button. There you go. Then we can just go from here. So she's jumping around a little bit.
Gotcha.
Go ahead and just minimize that.
Okay. Do you guys have questions? Questions about what you're seeing? Like I said, I'd love to have done a Photoshop. I can make little videos and post them online as well, and post the links in the website or on the Facebook page, and you guys can share there. Did I see a hand? Okay. So I didn't have a huge presentation plan, just wanted to show the images that he took, and most of us won't get to experience the adventures that Ken experienced. I mean, he was a single guy, no kids, and a great paying job, and he used that money for adventures, and he lived. So I think that's the solace that we can have as those of us who know Ken, is that he died doing something he loved, and I don't think anyone can really accuse Ken of not really living it up, because he had some great adventures. Yes, this is. I pretty much copied his hard drive, so he kind of kept things pretty well organized.
Very many non-underwater pictures?
There are a few. Sandhill Crane, and I'm not sure if, okay, these are all, there might be some JPEGs here at the bottom. Usually nope, they're all raw. Okay. Usually his JPEGs are his edited images are at the bottom. And I noticed that he would, the type. Oh, there you go. Okay. And there's usually a kind of a preview. How do I? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I can just kind of go through. Oh, you can kind of see some of his editing style right here. Huh.
So you have Bowie Tender on there. I guess it says Marker Bowie Dive Club.
Marker Bowie Dive Club. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Because there is a marker. That's who he was diving with up in Canada.
I can remember some Columbia River images. It's pretty green. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. It almost doesn't look real.
Yeah. Go to that list over here. You can tell it to show the picture.
Oh, yeah. I know there's like this one right here.
Yeah. Up here, get the extra large.
Oh,
Yeah, whoops.
let's see,
Guess
maybe.
you'll have to go to the smaller one. And then go on down. There's the JPEG that should show them.
Yeah, there we
There they
go.
are.
Okay. All right. I know that he had a file of images that he submitted to places in magazines, various magazines. I did a quick Google for Ken Gatherum magazine submissions that he'd done, and there were a few PDF files with his images. So I knew which ones he submitted because he had them. Some of them you can tell that high res, low res. He several copies of the same image. This one's probably my favorite right there. It seems like most of the fish kind of had an expression, didn't they? Yeah. He did a lot of non-underwater work as well. These images, I think, some of these, he collected images from the internet that inspired him. Because I know that this is not his, it's one from the National Geographic magazine. And some of the others, I just did a quick image search and then I could tell if it was his or not. So I'd be in Bridge and I would pull up the data and I could see if there was no data at all, no EXIF, no information, then I knew that it was probably something he just saved to his hard drive to keep for inspiration. And so I'm pretty sure that this was his. These eagle and falcon, maybe, yeah, something with wings. Baseball was not his. Yeah, you can see some of them that he cropped different ways, and anyway.
So did you ever find a pause folder for this pictures of the whale shark?
Didn't find that one. I know that he had several hard drives. Gloria, is that right? Did he have several hard drives, or maybe just?
Yeah, you've got about 4 or 5.
4 or 5 hard drives. This is just one of them labeled underwater. So I'm willing to bet that there's probably many, many more. Oh, okay. So image of one of his, one of the ships he was on. Oh, this might be interesting. Okay, so he had some of these images, screenshots of some of the things that he did in camera raw. You can kind of see some of his shadow, or some of the ways he enhanced his images, like to bring up the shadows and clarity. And so one thing I did notice is that most of his exposures were right on. And being in photography as long as Ken has been, it wasn't surprising to me. So most of his images, he was doing a simple color pop or a little bit of extra clarity. And you might have noticed some of those images had a lot of green on one side, but then super colorful on the other, because the flash adds a little bit of a completely different, light, and then the flash adds warmth. And so let's see here if I can find some other ones. Okay, Lightroom. You can kind of see what he did there. I don't know if I can. That's a pretty neat image there. I'm not sure why he kept screenshots of his work, but I'm sure glad he did. Okay, so he's using, looks like, is this element? No, it's Photoshop, just a different look to it. You can see his layers. Not as many on this one. And I saw pictures of his itinerary tickets. He was probably the most organized person maybe I've ever heard of, but very interesting. Okay, pictures on the boats. Oh yeah, that was, I don't believe that was his. That was another one that he saved. I think I think these are also his. The Kamaikan ones, ones that he'd named special are his, but some of the other ones. Let's see.
We took football and basketball pictures, a lot of those, and industrial photography pictures.
Yeah, these. Yeah, he did a lot of industrial photography, is what Glory was saying, but yeah, I can kind of tell what's his and what's not by how he named them. I think he just wanted to get some inspiration. I wasn't sure if this was his or not because there was a high resolution version. It didn't have any EXIF data, so I don't know. That's one that, some of them I just will never know about, but this one was definitely not his, but kind of cool to see, what inspired Ken. Oh yeah, he took a series of pictures of Mount St. Helens during the eruption, and so we're currently locating that. Obviously, it's negatives, but he has some prints of that, which is pretty neat. And all of his PSE files here with everything here. Yeah. That's pretty much all I've got. I don't have a whole lot. Mostly just wanted to show off Ken's work. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll turn it over to someone more interesting. My pleasure.
Yeah, those are a lot of photos to have to or get to go through. And just like he collected photos to inspire him, seeing the work that he's done, and you've seen it closer, has to be really inspiring just to see, what caught his eye, what caught his attention, and how to do it. I think as photographers of all kind, that's the thing that you always have to look for is, what inspires you? I was just talking with, during the break about, going to the fair and taking photos. You take photos, and the second year you take photos, third year you take photos, and you get better. And at some point you realize, I really don't need to go to the fair to take photos again, unless I can figure out something different to do. And you see how somebody else did something or something like that, and keep yourself inspired. But again, and figure out something different to do. Obviously with all the different stuff he's done, you go to a different spot to do the underwater photography. Like Dirk was saying, being able to go to the Pendleton Fair would be different. Even the mutton busting photos, you only need so many. A kid getting dragged through the mud on a sheep is real fun. What is it? The announcer says it's the only form of legalized child abuse there is. And this year there were 3-year-olds out there riding those things. It's just like, wow. But and that's what I really like on the club, is being able to get ideas, inspiration from each other, and stuff like this. It's sad to have lost Ken, but his photos definitely are going to inspire for quite a while. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. So thank you very much, Sonja. Appreciate all the work you put into it. So any other club business, anything anybody wants to share, thought about during the break? Is anybody here a PPA member, Professional Photographers of America?
I don't think you have to be a member, but month of October is Pro Monday, and they have classes all over the United States on all sorts of different subjects. So you might just look into that. I don't want to be a member, but I'm sure they take your money. So
Do you know if is it all online classes or
they're all
in person?
They're all over the United States. They just kind of look up your state.
There's some everywhere. Okay, great. So if you're interested in looking some classes, that's definitely worth doing. I posted, I think it was on the Facebook page, not on the club website, just because I just shared it. John Gringo out of Seattle has his annual introduction to photography class. And if you ever want to know how a camera really works, it's, you know, I've purchased the class twice just because he knows how to put together a slideshow that it shows, you know, when he talks about aperture, he's got the different slides that show what changes, how the camera works. You know, just about any question somebody asks during the class, he'll say, you know, about 4 slides, we'll get to that, and he'll have a slide that explains it. And it's a very, very good class. Anything there on Creative Live is definitely worth looking at too, for if you're looking to improve your skills. Okay, well, with nothing else, I'm going to ask if we can help put some chairs. Oh, Lee.
Phil Weber here tonight.
Phil Weber. Oh, that's not Phil Weber. Is no Phil Weber? Hang on one sec, Larry. Okay, go ahead, Larry.
Like everybody to know that, like the Sharp, Pat Matson, and Sonja were my judges on a photo exhibit fair this year. And last year, they did a really good job. Great share of all the pictures.
Yes, matter of fact, thank you for reminding me, because, you know, Larry takes a big burden of being the, what's it called, Larry? I want to just say head honcho of the superintendent for the photo exhibit, and watching over that the whole week of the fair. Yeah, that's the time everybody sees, plus all the time of the photos coming in. And this year had Sonja, Alexis, and Pam Madsen doing the judging. And if you got a chance to go see some of the photos, you know, we should have more club members putting photos up there during the fair.
By the way, Mr. Hurricane over there did a fine job, and he got
4
4 ribbons.
ribbons, woo! Good job, George. Yes, yeah, we all should. And that's one of the reasons we're doing more of the critiquing there, is getting everybody comfortable with their photos. And we really should. And Larry, I'll give you that task next year, a couple months before the fair, that we really push hard for club members to get photos put together for the exhibit. Yes, anybody's got a good idea, it'd be nice to have some good, the things that they're at the fair have seen their life a couple of years ago, and we'd like to, you know, see what we could do to help improve that. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, and a couple of us are going to be going to Spokane Fair this month, at least try, and see their photo exhibit, because the club up there, actually, the photography club, I don't even know if it's a photography club, it's a group up there that just took it over, and it could be real interesting to see how they do the judging, how they do their photo exhibit. They've got some really strict rules. I mean, every photo has to be basically the same size. It's one size you submit. So anyway, thank you very much. If everybody can help put up 2 chairs, and we'll put all this equipment away. We appreciate it. Thanks for